types of insurance. Although there are various types of insurance, but as per your syllabus, we will study about life insurance, fire insurance, and marine insurance in this video. First of all, we will discuss life insurance. Life insurance refers to that insurance in which, in consideration of a premium, the insurer promises to pay a sum of money on the death of the person whose life is insured or expiry of certain period, whichever is earlier. Mean to say, like if someone has taken a policy for 10 years, if the person dies before 10 years, the amount will be paid by the insurance company, and if the person lives up to that 10 year, the insurance company will pay the policy amount to the person. And in this, the insured person pays some fixed installment, which is called premium. And life insurance involves both security and investment, because in it, like other insurance, it provides security, and in it money also gets refunded after a certain period of time. That's why life insurance involves both security and investment. Some of the definitions of life insurance are, according to J.H. Magee, life insurance is a contract to which the insurer, in consideration of premium, undertakes to pay to the person for whose benefit the insurance is effected a sum of money on the death of the person whose life is insured or on attaining a certain age. This definition is almost similar to the meaning I told you, that in it the life insurance company promises to pay the insured person a sum of money after a certain period of time or after the death of the person, and in case of the death of the person, the policy money is paid to the nominee. And according to section 2 subsection 12 of the Life Insurance Act, by life insurance business we mean the business which perform the insurance of human life, means the insurance which is done for the human life. Life insurance involves both the protection and investment, and the same can be considered as its main objective. Whenever any person takes a life insurance policy, he tries to achieve two objectives. First one is protection and second one is investment. Now let us study them one by one. As far as protection objective is concerned, in fact, protection is the objective of each and every insurance. The main objective of the life insurance or any other type of insurance is to provide protection against risk, and life insurance provides protection against the risk from the loss arising out of from the financial loss arising out of the death of the family member. If any member of the family, especially the bread earner for that family, dies, the family has to face a lot of financial problems. Though it is impossible to bring back that person to life, yet the economic loss arising out of his death can be minimized with the help of life insurance. After the death of the insured, his family receive the sum insured with which they can pass the rest of their life comfortably. In this way, life insurance provides a kind of protection to the family members. Life insurance not only provides protection from future risk, but nowadays it is also a good medium of investment for the people, because in it the money is redeemed after a certain period of time. The insured invests small amounts in the form of premium, And if the insured dies before the date of the maturity of the policy, then the nominee of the deceased gets much more amount than actually invested. For instance, a person takes a life insurance policy. Its maturity period is 10 years. The annual premium for this policy is rupees 4,000, mean to say he has to pay only rupees 4,000 in a year, and while the value of the policy is rupees 50,000. After paying the premium for 4 years, the insured dies. After his death, the total amount payable to his nominee would be rupees 50,000 plus bonus, while he had paid only rupees 16,000 till his death as premium. In this way, life insurance also serves the investment objective. Life Insurance Corporation issues various types of policy. These policies can be broadly classified into two categories. One is whole life insurance policy, other one is endowment insurance policy. Let us discuss them one by one. Whole life insurance policy, as the name suggests, it is for the whole life. That means it has no certain maturity period. The policy amount will be paid to the family members of the insured after the death of the insured person. The various type of whole life insurance policy are whole life policy of limited premium. As the name suggests, the money is paid after the death of the person because it is a whole life policy of limited premium. Limited premium means premium is paid for a specified number of years. After that specified period, premium is not paid, but the insurance claim is paid by the insurance company only at the death of the person. Next type of whole life insurance policy is ordinary whole life policy. In it, the insured pays the premium throughout his life. Till his death, he pays the insurance, and after the death, the family members get the insurance amount. And the rate of premium is lowest for ordinary whole life policy because premium is paid for many years. Next type of policy is whole life policy of single premium. As the name suggests, premium is paid only once for such policies, and obviously the amount of premium is comparatively higher than the premium of other policies. Another type of life insurance policies are endowment insurance policy. Nowadays, endowment insurance policy is very popular because the whole life policy provides the protection, and endowment insurance policy provides protection as well as investment. There are various type of endowment insurance policy: ordinary endowment life policy, double endowment life policy, deferred endowment life policy. Let us discuss them one by one. In ordinary endowment life policy, in it the sum assured is given to the insured on the expiry of the period or to his dependent in case of his death. Another type of endowment insurance policy is double endowment life policy. In it, in case of the death of the insured, dependent get the sum insured mentioned in the insurance policy. But if the insured lives up to the expiry of the terms of the policy, then he receives double the amount. Means once he get the amount after the maturity period, and his dependent get the amount after the death of the person, and this policy is named after this condition. Next type of endowment insurance policy is deferred endowment life policy. In it, the payment of sum assured is made only after a specified period of time, irrespective of the death of the insured, whether he lives or dies is not related with the payment of the sum assured. For example, if a person has taken an insurance policy whose maturity period is 10 years, and suppose if the person dies after 2 years, his family will not get the money at the time of death. The family will get the money only after the maturity of the policy, that is after 10 years. Another important type of insurance is fire insurance. Fire insurance, as the name suggests, it means an insurance contract which provides protection against the loss by fire. Fire insurance means an insurance contract in which the insurance company, in exchange of a fixed premium, promises the insured to compensate if the property of the insured gets damaged due to fire till a specified period of time. In it, the insurance company promises to pay money to the insured person in case the goods which he has insured gets damaged due to fire. But it is for a specified time period, that is maximum 1 year. One important characteristics of fire insurance is that repayment of sum assured is not necessary. The repayment is done only when the insured has suffered some loss due to fire. If there is no loss of property due to fire during the period of insurance, no payment will be made to the insured. But in case of life insurance, repayment is necessary because death is inevitable. If the money is not paid after a maturity period, it is paid on the death of the person. But in case of fire insurance, repayment of sum assured is not necessary. Another important point is that it is taken for a limited period, and that can be maximum 1 year. If the fire happens after 1 year of taking the policy, then fire insurance company will not be liable to pay the compensation. And as I told you earlier, it is a contract of indemnity, not of earning profit. In it, only the loss is compensated because the policy value or the actual loss, whichever is less, is paid by the insurance company. For instance, a person gets his shop insured for rupees 50,000. After some time, his shop catches fire. The fire causes him a loss of rupees 30,000. The insurance company will compensate him for the actual loss, that is rupees 30,000 only. Insurance company will not pay the entire rupees 50,000. And if the loss is for rupees 70,000, the insurance company will pay him rupees 50,000. And in it, only protection element is available because, as I told you, repayment of sum assured is not necessary. Also, it is a contract of indemnity, mean to say, in it no profit can be made, only the actual loss is compensated. So there is only protection element, no investment element. And in life insurance policies can be surrendered before the maturity period and some value of policy can be received. But in case of fire insurance, there is no surrender value. Policy cannot be surrendered before 1 year, so the surrender value of fire insurance policy is 0. In fire insurance, personal contract is must. That means, suppose if a person has insured his goods against for rupees 1 lakh against the fire risk. Suppose he sell the goods, the fire insurance will not be automatically transferred with the goods because the contract is between the person and the insurance company. In it, the careless people are not all given insurance, are not at all given insurance. Such type of people can themselves damage their property and can claim compensation from the insurance company. Hence, fire insurance is a personal contract and it cannot be transferred without the prior approval of the insurance company. There are various types of fire insurance policy which are available to a businessman. These are, let them study one by one. First type of policy is average policy. Under this policy, average of sum assured and sum not assured is considered to calculate compensation. Let me explain you with the help of an example. Suppose a property whose actual worth is rupees 60,000 is insured for rupees 40,000. Means the whole property is, the full value of property is not insured. The property is only insured for rupees 40,000 although its value is rupees 60,000. And the loss due to fire is rupees 30,000. Then what do you think? The company should pay the entire 30,000? No. If this is an average policy, the company will take the average of sum assured, that is rupees 40,000, and sum not assured, that is rupees 20,000. That ratio is 4:2. Hence, out of rupees 30,000, rupees 20,000 will be compensated by the insurance company because only 2/3 property is insured. So only 2/3 part of the loss will be paid. Next type of policy is valued policy. For such product whose value cannot be decided at the time of incurrence of loss, valued policy is taken. The amount of this policy is decided mutually by the insured and the insurer at the time of taking the policy, and at the time of loss a prefixed compensation is paid. In it, loss is not calculated because this type of policy is basically taken for valuable art items, book, diamond, etc., and the value of these things can't be decided at the time of incurrence of loss. So already a value is decided in the policy and the whole claim is paid in the event of fire, loss by fire. Next type of policy is specified policy. In it, the insured takes the insurance for his property for a specified value. If the property gets damaged, then the insurance company compensates the insured the amount of policy without averaging the sum assured and sum not assured. Continuing our previous example which I gave you in case of average policy, I told you that for a property of rupees 60,000 a person is taking a policy of rupees 40,000 and he suffered a loss of rupees 30,000. As in case of, if we talk about average policy, that person was paid rupees 20,000 because he has insured only 2/3 part of the property. But if we talk about the specified policy, he will be paid the specified amount. For example, that person has taken the insurance policy of rupees 30,000, then he will, if that person has taken the insurance policy of rupees 40,000 and if that person suffers the loss of rupees 30,000 and if he has taken specified policy, then he will be paid the entire 30,000 rupees and he will be paid the entire loss. Next type of policy is open or floating policy. This insurance policy is taken when goods are being used daily and a constant change is there in the quantity of the product. For example, a shop owner who is running a footwear shop. In that case, the goods keep on changing, the quantity of goods keep on changing every day. And for this type of goods, open or floating policy is taken. The policy is taken for a fixed value by paying some premium. If there is any damage to the goods kept in the godown and duly insured, then the insurance company compensates for the loss. Another important type of fire insurance policy is comprehensive policy. In it, the insurance company provides cover against any risk affecting the goods such as fire, theft, etc. The insurance company promises to compensate for any type of damage. Another type of fire insurance policy is consequential loss policy. In this policy, not only the actual loss but also any other loss arising out of that damage is compensated. For example, if fire breaks out in a godown and the whole stock gets damaged, then a businessman has to suffer not only the loss of goods, but he may have to close down the business for a certain period. This policy, this consequential loss policy, not only compensates for the damaged stock, but it promises to compensate for the loss of profit being faced due to the closing down of business. Next type of policy is reinstatement policy. As the name suggests, under this policy, the insurance company pays the amount required for reinstating the damaged property. For example, if a machinery was insured under this reinstatement policy and if fire breaks out and the machine gets damaged, then the insurance company will provide the same machinery. Next type of policy is transit policy. Its name also suggests its meaning. When goods are sent from one place to another place and if there are chances of incurrence of loss due to fire in transit, then transit policy is taken. Among the series of insurance contracts, marine insurance is the oldest one. Marine insurance is very important in modern marine trade because risk is very high in case of marine trade. Marine insurance provides protection arising out of the risk caused due to the marine trade. Meaning of marine insurance is that this is a contract of indemnity under which the insurance company promises the insured to compensate for any damage arising out of marine risk. In a nutshell, marine insurance is a contract of indemnity under which the insurance company promises the insured to compensate for any damage arising out of marine risk. The subject matter of marine insurance or the type of marine insurance policies are freight insurance, liability insurance, cargo insurance, hull insurance. In this we will discuss about the freight insurance and liability insurance. Under freight insurance, shipping company can take the insurance for the freight. Actually, the shipping company charges some freight for carrying the cargo. Hence, the shipping company has an interest, that is insurable interest, in freight. Very often there is an agreement between the shipping company and the owner of goods that the freight will be paid only when the goods reach the destination safely. Suppose if goods get damaged in transit, then the shipping company may not get the freight as per their agreement with the owner of the goods. To avoid loss arising out of such a situation, cargo company gets the freight insured. Another type of marine insurance is liability insurance. The insurance which is taken for damage to the third party and compensation being payable for the damage is known as liability insurance. For example, if one ship collides with another and the first ship is required to pay compensation to the second, then this compensation can be charged from the insurance company if a liability insurance has been taken. This insurance is very much similar to the third party insurance taken for vehicles. Another important type of marine insurance are cargo insurance and hull insurance. Cargo means goods being carried by marine ships. The goods which are transported by the ships are known as cargo, and these goods are insured against risk of voyage. Risks arising out of voyage include war, fire, theft, forfeiture of goods by enemy, etc. Marine insurance can be taken by adding some profit to the cost of goods. For example, the cost of the goods is rupees 50,000. Marine insurance can be taken for 60,000, means by adding some profit also. In case of damage, the insurance company compensates for both the cost and profit added to the cost of goods. Next important type of marine insurance is hull insurance. In it, ship is also insured along with the goods. It is also insured like the goods against the risk arising out of marine voyage. This is known as insurance of ship or hull insurance. Hull insurance is taken either for a fixed period or for a specific voyage. Students, that was all about life insurance, fire insurance and marine insurance.